Hello and welcome back to our Hearthstone Fireside gathering at Mineski Infinity Katipunan, sponsored by Pcubed, and it's me, Prince, formerly known as Prince with a one, and right now we have Gia. Okay.
Hi everyone, and we are about to cast the semifinals, which is super hype. We've been
Yep.
following Jammy throughout this entire tournament, and he's made it up to the top four. And his opponent will be somebody named Meow. Prince, are you familiar with
Actually,
this
personally,
Meow?
I'm not familiar with who this Meow is. I was
Mhm.
like, is this the Filipino version of Hot
Hot Meow.
Meows? And we'll see. We'll actually see if his game against Jammy goes well. And let's talk about the lineups
Mhm.
actually. So we have both Druid bans as expected. In the meta right now, Druid is the clear favorite. What are your opinions on Druid
I
right now?
mean, let's not even talk about it. I'm more interested to see
Okay.
what the rest of the lineups are because if you've played ladder recently,
Yep.
you've had more than enough druid
Yep.
in any variant. So we've seen the decks from Jammy. So Meow is actually bringing a pirate warrior as well as a mid-range Murloc paladin, and the last one is a shaman, I
Yep.
believe,
Yeah, an
evolved
evolved
shaman.
shaman with double sea giant,
Mm-hmm.
which is very. I think it's very important to talk about this because no DK
Mm-hmm.
thrall in this list, and this is the list that I actually like the most.
Yeah, this looks almost identical to what I'm running on ladder
Yep.
right now. Double Sea Giant is a good tech to deal with Jade Druid because big minions are just difficult for them to remove. But I'm interested to see how it will play against Jammy's lineup.
Yeah, actually. And Sea Giant has a minor buff this KFT expansion
Mm-hmm.
because it can get evolved into the other
Yes,
8-8,
exactly.
which is important because before, when you evolve with the Sea Giant on board, the stats remain the same. But
Mm-hmm.
now, when you evolve the Sea Giant, it's sort of a
Yeah, you
heal to
can
the Sea
value
Giant.
trade
Yep.
and then heal it
Yeah,
back to
exactly.
full while evolving. So that's an interesting thing to note. And we also know that he is not running the Death Knight in this shaman, which is an interesting choice. I personally agree with that, although I'm not sure how it works in the tournament format. But on
Actually,
ladder, I
yeah.
would say that the Death Knight is definitely a risk because when you're running that kind of card, it means you're saying that okay, I can stick this doppelgangster and then play the Death
Exactly.
Knight on the next turn. Otherwise, wait until turn 10. So this is definitely the less greedy choice. So we're getting into game one. Meow queuing up Pirate Warrior against Jammy's Happy
Warlock.
Ghoul Warlock. Happy Ghoul is my favorite card of the expansion. How
Why?
I mean, it's just so cute. Look at it. It's happy
I
and
disagree.
it
They
feels
should
so
make a
good to play
sad
it.
ghoul.
Wow. Okay.
Sad.
Well,
You get you can play it for free when you get damaged
wow.
for 5,000.
That would be
Okay, I'm
insane in
kidding.
Pirate Warrior, right? I mean, you use a weapon and then you
Actually,
damage yourself. Anyway, Meow drew the nuts here. Nice 1, 2, 3, 4 from Pirate Warrior. Um, Jammy might feel the need to defile right here. Yeah, I mean, the follow-up from Pirate Warrior is usually Bloodsail Raider or Fiery War Axe on 2, so defiling,
or even a coin out cultist is pretty good. Also, he has to take
yeah.
note that Meow
Mhm.
also has the coin.
Yeah, going second, the scariest thing is Coin Captain, I would say, which
Yep.
would make the Defile locked out. So I like this.
Mhm.
Respect from Jammy here. But Meow just gonna curve out super nicely.
Into Bloodsail Raider.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Jammy really wants to top deck a Happy Ghoul here. Best draw easily. That's not quite it. I think he's forced to play out this Earthen Ring, but he's gonna get the sad news that there is a War Axe
The
for
War Axe
Meow.
waiting. I mean, if Meow gets a 2-drop here, okay. This is actually pretty good as well. Do you use the coin here?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
there's actually no
actually
target for the coin.
he played that super quickly. That turn, he had the option to actually play Frothing Coin, deckhand
The
to
deckhand,
trade,
yep.
and
he'll
then
have
build a huge Frothing, which
5-4, right?
yeah, I would really would have preferred to see that
Exactly,
because this
because
is weaker to
of
Hellfire.
Hellfire,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now, I feel like Meow maybe played that a little bit too quickly.
As do Pirate Warrior players.
No
As
way, I
yourself.
rope on Pirate or anyway. Yeah, now Jammy thankfully has his answer for
Lifesteal
the
Warrior
Cork
player.
Run. And look at this curve. He gets to siphon what's probably going to be a Frothing coming out next turn. He has a 7 drop
Oh,
that he doesn't
interesting. Actually,
necessarily want
Jammy
to play.
taps here, and well, I guess there's an argument to tap there because his hand is pretty bad, I might say, but
Yeah, otherwise though, having seen that there's an Arcanite coming out, Jammy is really close to dying,
Yeah.
honestly.
And
With
it's a very
Leroy
good
to back it
counterplay
up.
to the Siphon Soul that we were just talking about
Yeah.
there.
So this is an easy 2-turn setup from Meow. He can
No,
just...
it's lethal. He can Leroy
Oh
and
yeah,
then
and
coin the
coin the
heroic
heroic.
strike.
My bad. Yeah, the
Yep.
coins there. So that is just game. Pirate Warrior curving out. Not much you
Yeah,
can do
Warrior
about it.
doing Pirate Warrior doing Pirate Warrior things here.
Even with the slight misstep of not trading in the deckhand and the hook
Yeah,
to
it
make it
didn't
better
really
brawling.
matter.
Yeah,
I mean,
not needed
this matchup in general is very good, and for the
for the Pirate Warrior.
yeah, for the Pirate
definitely.
Warrior.
Yeah, it's most often dependent on whether the Warlock runs some kind of weapon removal in the
Uh-huh.
form of ooze. Otherwise, a lot of the Warlock AoE damages the Warlock itself,
Exactly.
Hellfire and Abyssal Enforcer.
It's still the same
so-
problem that
yeah.
Warlock had before, and that's
But no
just how-
Marino.
yeah, no more Reno, unfortunately. But that matchup went down how it was, I guess, intended to go down. With not having any weapon removal. So, I guess we'll see. Okay, we're actually here.
Game 2. In stark contrast to that last series that you guys cast, thanks for taking that one off my shoulders. We just gotta cast something really quick here as Meow is running a more aggressive deck. So this Paladin version, oh wow.
Oh, he got the nuts of triple. Well, not the
wow.
nuts.
I mean,
Is this rock pool? Did he get rock pool?
this is, if it's not Rock
Okay.
Pool, it's still good because
Yeah.
he can go 1 into 1+1. And he actually chooses to start off with the Inquisitor rather than the Tidecaller, which
Personally, I would have gone for the
yeah,
Tidecaller
me too,
as
because
well.
it scales up.
And especially if Jammy goes for the Voidwalker, if he top decks another Murloc, he can actually kill off the
Yeah, with a Rockpool Hunter. So that's strange from Meow there. I don't know what he was trying to play around.
There's really no
Except
one
maybe
to
Drain
cast.
Soul, but
Oh,
you would have to
probably,
coin
yeah.
that out, and it's like super awkward. So, yeah. Anyway, it's on Jammy to just draw enough removal here, and
Yep.
he actually has a really good coil here, and he can bump the
The
Divine
one
Shield
into
off
the-
of this as well. So, Zealot coin coil
Yeah.
seems good.
Zealot was actually a very good top deck for Jammy there.
Yeah, big help. Although, honestly, this board is looking very weak to Hellfire anyway, so even if he had just tapped there and bumped the shield, Hellfire would have been able to
And he
clear
gets the
everything.
insurance with Defile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is looking very favorable for Jammy.
Especially now that we know that we see Meow's hand, and Meow's hand is a 7 drop and an 8 drop.
Very.
Not
That's
really something you want to be having at
yeah.
this
In
point
stark
in the game.
contrast to the first game
Yeah.
of Pirate Warrior, Meow has pressed to draw something to do off the top for the next 3 turns.
Yep. It's because you said thank you for us having to cast quick games, and now look what we have.
Nah, I mean, this one still won't take that long compared to things swinging back and forth. So if I'm Jammy here, I would actually just tap. Yeah, no, not too scary, and he even
He
draws a
gets
1-drop
the
to go with this.
Voidwalker.
So he can trade here to respect something like Megasaur, but the only thing scary from that, I guess, would be
+1/+1.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
pretty scary.
or
Or health,
the-
even health. is
I
pretty
mean, yeah, the health is scariest, right? Because it doesn't all die to
good.
Hellfire.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this is again a scary board if you don't have this card called Hellfire. But it's at least the Murloc War Leader will survive.
He can just Defile, actually.
Yeah, tap Defile seems quite clean. The War
Yeah.
Leader will not die, but
You don't really need the War Leader to die if you don't really have Murlocs on the board, so...
oh, he
Don't
can even
even
clean
the
it up with the
Dreadlord.
Dreadlord next turn. So it all depends on me whether he can draw something to do, and that is a total whiff. So
Well, if it gets to that point, he'd still be losing because he has no board.
right.
Yep.
So yeah, Dreadlord here seems the cleanest choice. The only scary thing is Steed on 6, but even then it's not able to clear the Dreadlord.
Exactly,
so
with
it's fine.
Siphon Soul in hand and pretty much Jammy's whole late game in hand, except for the DK.
Yeah, and it looks like Meow is forced to Tarim
Yeah,
here.
forced to tear him.
Tarim and trade, and
A 6 to cast 3/7 with Taunt is not a good play.
I mean, it at least clears the opponent's
Well, that's
Warfire.
true, I guess. There's merit to act talking about that.
Well, anyway, I would like to see this siphon held from
Yep,
Jammy here because
exactly.
Tyrion is the scariest thing. So he
And
could actually just
tapping is just tapping first, and probably does he run giants in his list?
uh
Let's
not
see.
probably Twilight Drake at the very least, but yeah, even then just dropping 2 minions seems super strong. You can trade them both and then play Abyssal next turn to get rid of Tarim. But we are gonna see most likely the Curator come down.
Is there merit to going bone mare here?
That's lack of respect for Siphon,
That's
isn't
true.
it?
But there's also the argument that he's trying to bait out, I guess, the Siphon Soul for the Tyrion on 8 because it is turn 7. But yeah, I guess Curator is a better turn because he's down to 4 cards in hand. What does Curator get him?
Primordial Drake or
No, he only gets the 5/4, the Gentle Megasaur
actually,
as
no
the
dragons
beast.
in the deck.
No dragons in the deck.
All right.
Yep.
So if he goes for Bone Mare, he gets to push 8 damage and set Jammy to 15, and he can follow it up with a Tyrion. So I don't hate this, but like this has got to be a feels good man for Jammy to just siphon this away.
Does he trade into this? I bet he does actually.
Yeah. So he plays Lich King into Tyrion, which is not that scary unless there's a big buff coming up. But he did already see the Bone Mare come down, so...
Again, deck lists are not available, so Meow does not know what is... well, actually, our players do not know what the other player has inside the deck, but it's always better to be safe.
Also noted that the Lich King can get like quite a few things that can deal with the Tyrion.
That's
I know
true.
there's one that removes the whole board. There's another that destroys the minion and you take that much damage to your health. I don't know the names of those spells, but
At least we know what they do.
yeah. So all good. So Meow has some good refill, and we see that there's still quite a bit of AoE left.
I would actually have favored keeping the Tidecaller there and just hero powering because you can save it for the Gentle Megasaur turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because Jammy is also needing to probably Twisting Nether this board already. Right? If he has no answers, that's the...
Right, so there's actually a fancy play you can do with Defile here. Defile and then Abyssal will clear everything. You do leave your opponent with an Ashbringer, but taking the whole board and putting your own minion seems really, really strong.
Yeah.
So, okay, Death and Decay plus Hellfire does the same thing, but you're not able to develop a minion afterward.
Yeah. I would have loved the play that you just pointed out a while ago. Let's see.
I mean, now he's kind of forced to Hellfire, right? But what happens next? Nothing. You
He
leave
should
your
have
opponent.
thought it through first before.
Yeah. Not having a minion here and even going for the tap is pretty scary, if I might say so.
Okay, wow. So Meow top decking the 1-drop is pretty good for the, as I was pointing out, the Murloc, the Gentle Megasaur turn.
Yeah.
But he's probably going to do Defender first, Stonehill Defender, to see what he's getting.
I actually like going as wide as possible here and trying to push this empty board initiative.
Yep.
So playing a bunch of Murlocs and buffing them up seems really good. So you can go, Hero Power, Vilefin, Hero Power, and then Megasaur. You still save the Rock Fin in hand.
Here, I think. Oh, okay.
I don't think he's playing Rock Pool.
Yeah, he's
This
not.
is like the most Murlocs over the longest period of time.
I guess.
You get to fit in the refresh hero power. So Divine Shield and Death Rattle both help to AoE resistance, but neither of them is resistant to a combination of AoE, which is what
which is probably what Jammy's gonna be doing. And
yep. So again, the play of Defile and Abyssal clears everything while developing his own board, but it does set Jammy back to 10
well, actually,
health.
the 1/3 is going to be alive if Jammy goes for that play, right?
No, Defile clears the Divine Shield, sets the thing to 1.
I was thinking of him doing it the other way around, and I was thinking that. No.
Although he's taking this less risky play of not taking any damage, not taking, or rather, leaving enough mana to heal up with the Earthen Ring here. So
Okay.
actually, I'm a
he's
bit
going to
confused
go.
by this. So Drain Soul and Defile. Okay, wants to leave 0 minions on board, and but at the cost of that, he doesn't develop his own
anything,
minions. So
exactly. And I think it's coming. He's going into the turn where he wants to play Gul'dan, and
Yeah.
this is the point where he actually wanted to have some demons to die.
although it's still gonna be a decent Gul'dan, he brings back, I think, a Despicable and 2 Voidwalkers. So
I
the
think just
taunt,
one.
just one. So then it's not enough to protect him from this board, isn't it?
Yeah.
He will set himself to 15. So +1/+1 looks like the pick here.
Yeah. Is there a merit to getting poisonous? I don't think so. You're trying to push as much damage as you can
Yeah, I
to
think
lock
he needs
out
to
the
raise here.
AoE that Warlock is supposedly to have.
Yeah, and with this damage push, Gul'dan is not gonna be enough. So I just really wonder if Jammy had taken a previous turn to develop the Enforcer where he wasn't at a risk of dying. Then maybe he would have been in a better spot here. I do think it's 2 Voidwalker though. Let's see.
Let's see.
If it's 2, then he's alive, right?
It's 2.
Yeah, alright.
Okay,
So
I,
he's
I
actually
stand
alive.
corrected. Okay, fine.
So, never mind, he's
never
dead.
mind, he's dead.
Top Keck.
That's what I love
But-
about Hearthstone. You're right for a second and then wrong the next.
Yeah, there's any number of ways Meow can do this. Actually, any minion being buffed will still lead to lethal, so... But this is, of course, maximum damage to face, so Meow going
You
to
always
a
have
quick
to go maximum
2-0
damage. Quick 2-0
lead.
game. And it's looking like we're in for a very quick series here. Meow on the 2-0 lead. Jammy, well, he's one game away from winning. And what does Jammy have to do here? Probably not queue in the Warlock as a start.
Oh, well,
With
the last one is a Shaman, so isn't Meow's
Oh,
last
that's
deck a
true,
Shaman,
that's
so
true,
I think that the Warlock is pretty favored against that. I wouldn't mind it. Jammy will have to farm this Shaman, which I think is quite possible given he has 3 decks that are favored against it. However, these aggro decks, they always, when they hit the curve, sometimes it's just unstoppable,
That's true.
and sometimes
And I
you just don't draw your AoE.
And I
so.
guess Jammy's in the perfect spot for a reverse sweep.
Shall bring victory.
Okay, so he's going for the
Priest? Is this a
Kazakus Priest. Yep.
Okay, so I'd say Priest also has a really good matchup against the Shaman.
Importantly, he drew Raza. This is one of the cards that you're actually looking to draw early when you're playing Kazakus Priest. I've actually personally been playing a lot of this deck. Not because it's very good, but it's very fun to play. Yep.
Oh, you dirty one-of player, always drawing what you need.
You're the pirate warrior player
Yeah,
between
but I
us
play
two.
2 copies of cards, so it's likely that I draw them. Anyway, the nuts
Yeah,
for
you're
Meow
twice
to
the
start.
cancer. Okay, I'm kidding.
Caster trash talk. So Jammy kept Holy Nova for respect in later turns. He
And
also kept the
also
Ooze for
Ooze,
Jade
yeah.
Claws, but it means that he has quite nothing to do in the early turns.
Were you a fan of keeping the ooze there? Honestly, I'm not really a fan of keeping the ooze there.
I don't play enough Priest to know, but I guess there's not that much early game, so I don't mind it. Like,
Well, that's true.
Ooze is one of the few things you can play early. And you just kind of want to survive until the turn you can play AoE and then completely swing the board against Shaman, because after Holy Nova into Dragonfire, into whatever. Oh, he even gets Maelstrom Portal, which is insane.
Which is perfect, actually.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, it's just very difficult for the Shaman to come back after, let's say, 2 or 3 board wipes. Portal denying the Sea
Denying
Giant
the Sea
here, which
Giant
is very
portal, too.
important because we
I was
see
actually
no
just
Shadow or
calculating
Death.
that.
Yeah. Because Jammy wouldn't have been able to coin Holy Nova there, so Meow must be pretty upset about that. Still, just gonna refill. And coin
There's a
Holy
perfect
Nova,
coin
looking
Holy Nova.
insane because Meow did not roll spell healing
Yeah.
totem there.
And
So.
I think Jammy is smartly doing this because of the threat of Bloodlust the next turn.
Yep, just AoE after AoE, Shaman's Word Nightmare, and it locks up the Shaman cards that benefit from a wide board like Sea Giant,
Sea
Flame Tongue
Giant.
Totem, even Evolve. So Mana Tide, probably one of the best draws Meow can get there to kind of come back into the game. Also, there's no immediate answer from Jammy, so he's going to get 2 draws off of it. But Raza coming down.
How is Meow holding on to that Jade Clause? Because the overload is something that he should be taking note of. Does he actually know that Jammy has the ooze here?
Sniper, no, I'm kidding. I do like holding the Jade Claws because every time you get to press your hero power, it's like a bonus
Well,
minion.
that's true.
That over time you get the
Especially
most
with
amount
Thing
of
from
minions.
below also,
Yeah.
trying to get the discount there.
So I feel like the devolve might be necessary here to just try and clear out the Raza, but it's not pretty. One
And
thing he can
exposing
do.
the Giant on a board like this isn't very good as well.
Yeah, I think Giant is the other play. Also, maybe he could try and go for Mana Tide plus Hero Power, but it's weak to Shadow Word Horror. Is that in the deck?
That's true.
Yeah, although it is just
It's
a one
definitely
of, so
probably going to be in the
definitely
deck.
probably.
Yeah. I stand corrected.
Okay, it's not in the deck.
Yeah,
So,
it's not.
all right, given that,
How is
and
it not in the deck? Really? Okay. Definitely not. Definitely.
right,
probably
given
not.
that,
Yeah.
I do like playing the Mana Tide.
Yep.
Because it's so difficult for Priest to deal with these.
This was the play that I was actually considering, going Flame Tongue here and setting up the Bloodlust for next turn. The only thing he's afraid of here is Dragonfire Potion, which we both see that Jammy does not have it, but
Right, so looks like it's gonna be a Cairn here. Alright, going for Cleric, which I don't know, it doesn't seem very effective on this board, but maybe he's looking for Shadow Word Pain in particular. Potion of Mana is not effective because the Flame Tongue buff is lost when you
Yep.
steal it.
I was thinking about a play where in the Flame Tongue is in between between the 2 minions that can attack, but that doesn't work.
Yeah.
It goes beside the 0-1. It's going to be 2 attack.
Right, so I think Meow has to take this opportunity to go very wide on the board. He can play Firefly, Jade Claws thing. He can play every minion basically, and then end with Sea Giant, and then think about the trades.
That's the start that he has to do actually, because again he has Bloodlust in
Yeah,
hand.
I think that the turn will involve a devolve at some point, though. So yeah,
Don't you
just
keep
gonna
the
start with
devolve though?
that. I think the devolve is quite decent because you can most likely get rid of the taunt, so just allow some value trades.
Oh, you play the Firefly first.
Yeah,
You
he
play
should.
the seed.
Mhm.
It's basically a coin in the sense that it's a 1 mana discount for the Sea Giant.
Yeah,
Okay, that is.
I don't know about.
I don't agree with that.
The ordering on that
Yep.
was. He could have fit in the Jade Claws there
Yep.
if he had played Fireflies first.
And now we see Jammy. If he
I guess
doesn't draw
everything
anything,
wouldn't have fit on the board, but he didn't really need the hero power
Yep.
there.
Is Jammy just dead here?
Um,
I'm pretty sure he's dead because
Potion of Madness to the Firefly plus
3, 4, 5.
yeah, it's
he's
not
dead.
nearly
Yep.
enough. So
Plus Meow drew the Bloodsail Corsair, and he still has Batches in deck, which is another 4 damage, plus the Jade Claws next turn, plus the Bloodlust damage.
yeah.
Yep, that's just
So power of Mana Tide Totems coming to the spotlight
yeah,
here.
exactly.
Win a quick 3-0 series.
And we were actually just talking about how Jammy was in the lead, in a sense that he had board clear after another board clear, but Shaman showing its power and
Yeah, the Mana Tide going uncontested is
Yeah.
one of the ways Shaman definitely runs away with this matchup. Also, Sea Giant, quite powerful, and again with the Priest, they do run all sorts of AoE, but I mean, cutting just one of them, like
That's
Shadow
true.
Word Horror, can really hurt in this matchup, and
is it not
There's-
lethal? Really?
it is.
It's
Let's-
lethal, right?
Wait, 12, 20.
Four is.
Wait, one thing got frozen. Has he played Patches?
He hasn't played Patches. That's what I was
Okay,
talking about.
so then it's lethal.
It
with
has
the
to be
Bloodlust.
lethal.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
that's how you play Shaman, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
And there you go. So
I was correct about the math that I did not do. That's how you pass math, boys and girls.
Well, insanely quick series, probably.
Oh, that was 3 games already.
Yes, that is about 1/5 of the length
Okay.
of the games that